Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and welcome to this, a very unorganized day. This has not changed. I went to change this, but in my lap, you can't see unless I can't reach that either. I'm one of those people that if a cat is on your bed, you have to carefully get into the bed and not disturb the cat. And if a cat's sitting on your chair, you can't sit on the chair unless the cat moves. And you don't move the cat, you wait until the cat moves. That's just the kind of person I am. So the cat is now on my lap. You saw little kitty ears here. Little Amelia. She is on my lap. I wanted to get up and do stuff like that, but she's on my lap. Unless I have to go to the bathroom or some such, I'm not going to move her unless she moves. Because she's a kitty and, well, I'm trapped now. So, I couldn't do a new thing there. My apologies, but I am trapped underneath this kitty head. So, no hamster either. She's been on my lap. And she has just been planting herself here for days. And it's a good thing. She comes in the window, she eats, she sits on my lap until she has to go to the bathroom, and then she goes outside and then prowls around and does outside stuff, and then she comes back in and eats and then falls asleep on my lap again. She loves me, and it's absolutely amazing. And so, I'm very sorry. No new thing there, no little Hamatron. I'm not quite sure. Oh, she's far off in the opposite corner from me, so it would be a real struggle to get hold of her anyway. But it is, and I'm going to look at the time and all, 7:06 a.m. on Saturday, the 15th of September, because I had almost forgotten the date. I woke up around 5 o'clock this morning, but I was not ready to get up because it was 5 o'clock in the morning. And I was cold, so I wasn't going to be able to go back to sleep. So tonight, I have to put a towel, a bath towel, on my bed. Because, as I've mentioned before, it's foam, so it gets really warm really fast. And I just put a sheet and then a fleecy blanket. And if that's too cold, which it has now become, I just put a bath towel on top of that. So I need to put the bath towel on there, otherwise it's too cold. So I just lay in bed freezing this morning for about 45 minutes, 50 minutes before I finally went, you know, I'm not doing anything. I'm just sitting here hurting.
Daddy, it's a man with a light bulb head.
Avert your eyes from his gaze, Junior, and we may yet be safe.
But Daddy, it's you.
I'm a wide awake. I'm not sleeping. I'm just laying here, uncomfortable. So I got up. And of course, just as a minor aside, what you should do with a washer and dryer, if you have your own washer and dryer, is once a week run a load with no laundry, but just bleach. Because they have discovered that with just normal soap, normal water, normal washing, because of the amount of fecal matter that's everywhere, you have a it's a like fecal form bacteria that's infested your washers, and you're not really getting your clothes clean because you're just washing it inside the fecal form bacteria that's forming inside of your washer. So once a week you run a bleach load, which is just put in a cup of bleach, run a normal load with nothing in it but the bleach, and then it goes through, kills all the stuff inside of your washer, and then you do your wash. Now, I especially have to do this because my housemates, what they do, and I don't blame them for this, I mean, this is fine, there's nothing wrong with this, is instead of just using hay and paper or whatever in the guinea pig's bedding, they put down towels. And so the guinea pigs run on top of towels, and then they have hay on top of the towels, and so they've got towels and such. Well, guinea pigs, they just pee all over everything, and so stuff gets to be a mess. So what they do is, when they wash the cages, they pull all the hay and stuff out, take the towels and such out, get all the loose stuff out of those, and then just wash all of the guinea pig stuff in the washer and dryer. Nothing wrong with that. But because you're washing all those guinea pig pellets in there that sneak through and in. You're getting guinea pig feces mixed in with all the human stuff, and yeah, it's especially important to run a bleach load every once in a while. So right now I've got the washer with a load of bleach, nothing else. Is it wonderful to pour into the environment? No, of course not. But as much as it's terrible and awful when human beings pollute, you have to remember too that everything is chemicals. Everything is chemicals. There's just common and uncommon. Common chemicals are just the stuff we run across all the time. I mean, wood is a chemical, metal is a chemical, it's all just chemical reactions. And so, try to remember what I was talking about on this one. It's just the chemical reaction, common and uncommon. And uncommon chemicals, they may be factory made, but that just means that they're harder to make. You will occasionally find this stuff in nature, but it's more rare. Doesn't mean it's unnatural. Doesn't mean it's unnatural to make it in a factory. Guess what? We're part of nature. The stuff that we make, even though it's a factory with tooled machines, is still part of what we do. It's like termite hives, ant colonies. They dig out and make huge places. Same with us. It's all natural, even though it's just tools and it's made up stuff. It's still just uncommon chemicals that happens throughout the universe, just in smaller levels, because it's uncommon. And we just know how to put that stuff together to make it, so it's more common. Is some of that stuff more dangerous? Well, of course. That's why it's uncommon. It's harder to get. It's more dangerous stuff. That doesn't mean it's unnatural. If it was unnatural, we wouldn't be able to make this stuff. So there's nothing wrong with chemicals. And the problem with pollution, though, is when you mix the uncommon chemicals into the environment where all the common stuff is. Because none of us really evolved to have a lot of common stuff from the uncommon things. So you want to make sure that that stuff doesn't leach into the environment. That's the problem with pollution, is all the uncommon chemicals that leach into the environment where all the common stuff is. That's when it becomes an issue. That's why pollution is so horrible, among many, 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 many things. I mean, plastic is terrible because it leaches chemicals, uncommon chemicals, into the environment. Plus, it falls apart into microplastics because it looks like food, other animals eat it and so starve to death. And so the seafood is filled with microplastics because they've been eating it, and so of course other things eat the microplastic filled animals and become filled with microplastics themselves. Human beings are filled with microplastics now. 93% of us have chemicals from plastics in our bodies. It's just that it's uncommon versus common. It's not unnatural versus natural. It's just common versus uncommon. Again, though, it's when the uncommon leaches into the common areas that's bad. That's why pollution of paper and such, if it's basically untreated, non-chemicalized filled paper, it may look bad, but it's not a terrible thing to have paper and stuff just as a pollutant. Because it's a wood product. It's like leaves. Leaves rot and look horrible on the ground after a time. Paper is a wood product, and if you don't fill it with the uncommon chemicals, then it doesn't matter if it breaks down and fills the environment with wood products. It's when you introduce the uncommon chemicals into the common areas where these things are not evolved to deal with the uncommon chemicals. Nothing wrong with those, it's just that because they're uncommon, most things don't come in contact with them on a regular basis. That's the issue. That's why pollution, a lot of the cheap pollution, paper stuff may look bad, but again, it's just leaves. That's not an issue. It's plastic. A lot of the uncommon metals, because they're uncommon metals, like the heavy ones. Well, they're uncommon here on the crust where we live. Down deeper, of course, and all that, they're not as uncommon, and out in space, they're not as uncommon. But here, where life is they are uncommon. Means absolutely nothing, but it was one of those things I think about as I'm walking and I see garbage everywhere. It's like if I'm smoking a pre-roll and I flick the butt, yeah, I feel kind of bad about that because it looks bad. But on the other hand, it's hemp paper and it's not filled with chemicals. It looks bad, but it's not uncommon chemicals. For it to break down where it is not going to harm anything because it's all just common chemicals. The plants around where that stuff breaks down aren't going to have any issues with it because it's all common chemicals that are okay for life. They may look bad until they break down, but it's all just hemp paper and it's not going to harm anything. So I mind on an aesthetic basis on some pollution, purely for aesthetics. But when, of course, cigarette butts that have those filters on them, the filters, those last for frickin' ever. Don't flick those. Pre-rolls of cannabis, the filter part isn't a filter. It has a circular part, of course, because you got to put it in your mouth and breathe, and it's got the paper that goes into the butt part. But that's just, it's not a filter. What they have is folded cardboard inside to block the cannabis. And so there's just flowing air with no filter through the chunks of cardboard to keep the largest pieces from going through. Yeah, there's always little pieces that you get. They largely make the stuff out of trim, so. But, so, as I try to remember what I'm talking about, because of that, it's just hemp cardboard, which is hemp paper, which is just hemp biomass. So, I don't feel bad about flicking the butt of a pre-roll because it's just hemp cardboard. If it was a filter, yeah, I'd be putting that someplace where it belongs really properly. Oh, excuse me. It's that whole common versus uncommon chemicals thing. Oh, yes, 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 this. So important. You see this here? I did, finally. This morning, I came in here and I plugged it straight into the wall. I had read this before. I had not read it thoroughly. I had skimmed it. Yes, in here it says do not plug into a power strip. Plug it straight into the wall. But because it is a 1500 watt on high and 900 watt on low, yeah, that's a bit too much for even most of the good power strips. Now my wife, my dead wife, she used to have a power strip that I unfortunately killed, but it was a power strip that was really, really good. You could plug in things like this into it, and it would handle it. It was an excellent, like, industrial strength power strip, but the ones I have now aren't. Now, one of the things that's very, very awesome about this, you can set it on low, high, or eco. Now, low just uses 900 watts. High uses 1500 watts. Eco switches between 900 and 1500 to try and keep your temperature constant. So it's not eco because it uses a ton of energy to keep it at a constant. Great. Oh, hi, Kitty. I'm sorry. Now, though, I plugged it straight into the wall without plugging anything, without turning anything else on. Left it run for 5 minutes. Worked fine. Turned on my computer. It's working fine. I discovered another awesome thing. You see how this says low and it's got that thing right there? When it hits, I've got it set for 65. Just testing it still and having it run. I'm stress testing right now. When it hits 65, the sensor turns it off and it stops heating. And then it just keeps checking the room temperature, and if it falls below 65, then it turns back on. That's bloody awesome. That's exactly what I want. That is perfect. That is perfect for in here because it's not supposed to keep me warm. Like I said, I'm just pressure testing it right now to make sure that the room doesn't turn off. I can put this in here, set it for 65, and then the hamsters are going to be warm. It'll only turn on when it has to, and it'll only turn on to 65, and the room is not going to flick out. Awesome. Thank you, who I've got the name somewhere, and I'm so sorry. Oh gosh, I'm all out of time now. If you could check out my game channel, that would be awesome. I do have a game channel. If you like watching older people play video games, can't hear. Then if you could check that out, be awesome. It's not monetized. I'd like to get it monetized. If it never gets monetized, that's fine. But if you could check it out, it'd be cool. I don't expect you to. Don't feel entitled, but if you do, it'd be awesome. I've also opened up 24 hours worth of comments on my community tab. I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people. It is arranged because even though I count in American Sign Language on the fingers of this hand, I have fibro and depression, widower brain, post-acute withdrawal syndrome. Still, I've never gotten treated for it. So if I remember something, anything at all, I'm lucky. If I mispronounce a username, no disrespect is intended. I'm an American English speaker. And of course, I'm not reading the comments right now. I'm going to read them afterward. Thumbs up each one I do read, answer as many as I can. But for right now, I'm just thanking you for having left a comment. Whether it's a good comment, a bad comment, and a different comment, thank you for having left a comment. It is appreciated. Let me call up my Chrome. Hi, kitty kitty. Had to pet the kitty. We have Bab Kizzle. Oh, of course, my mouse stopped working again. Oh, come on. I can't, all day it's been working just fine. There. Windows update, my mouse stops working all the time now, ever since yesterday morning. Bab Kizzle, thank you very, very much. Queen Cadence Sinclair, thank you very, very much. Ice Damon, greatly appreciate. Maleficent Shadows, ooh, I like that name. Esteban, thank you very, very much. And Mary G, thank you. Papa Salt, greatly appreciated. 27 No Scope, thank you very, very much. And Kathy Kiss Cat, good to see you're okay, and glad to see you're still doing okay from the hurricane there. Slon Mish, thank you very, very much. And Azure Kite 619, thank you very, very much. Darkness Tito, thank you very much. And Pandora NYC1, good to see you in the comments, thank you very much. King Slender 13, thank you. Singos, greatly appreciated. Brian Glenn, thumbs up and thank you. John Timing, greatly appreciated. Justin _1, Thunder, thumbs up and thank you. Tundra Keeper, greatly appreciated. Detective Harris, thank you very, very much. Jude or Hude, or I don't know how to pronounce it. Jude Lucero, thank you very, very much. And Dante Harp, greatly appreciated. We have Benzie, thumbs up and thank you. Gaby Euphrasio, I sure hope I'm close, but I'm not, but thank you very, very much. Synapse, thank you very, very much. Each and every one of you, thumbs up. You get me out of this dark, dank, tiny, cramped, wet little skull. I mean, everybody's got one, so. But you get me out of there, into the real world, dealing with real people. Thank you very much. It is appreciated. Well, shucks. I've got various links down below. I have Twitter, Facebook, GoFundMe, Patreon.com, Google+. If you could donate to my GoFundMe campaign or become a Patreon.com patron, that would be very, very cool. I got paid by YouTube today. Standard YouTube paycheck. I got $41. I don't know how some people can live on YouTube. Sometimes I make a little bit more. Sometimes I make a little bit less. About 40 bucks is on average what I make from YouTube every single month. What was I saying? I think I said if you could become a Patreon.com patron, like one of these beautiful and awesome people. I got sidetracked there. I am so sorry. That would be very, very cool. But if you cannot donate, or you simply do not donate, I take all good wishes. I deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest, so thank you very much. And if you could toss me a like, I do appreciate all the positive validation I get for my existence, especially when I forget everything like I'm doing today. I am so very sorry. If you could subscribe to the channel, that would be very cool. Greatly appreciated. I would understand if you don't want to, but if you are down with it, I will do my very best to keep you entertained from now to the literal end of time. And if you're curious, no, I don't need to think to make my mouth go. My mouth goes all on its little lonesome. Back when I was married and my wife was awake, she couldn't talk or do much more than grunt for the first half hour. I would roll out of bed and start talking. It would take me a half hour before I would wake up and even know what I was saying. But when I wake up, when I get up, when I start going, my mouth moves. I don't need to engage my brain to make my mouth go. So I am gifted with the gift of gab, and fortunately or unfortunately, I'm also in love with the sound of my own voice, so thumbs up for that. I'm gonna hopefully have a game video, hopefully a reaction video, hopefully a game video for my game channel, so son of a gun. Thank you all for coming along with me on this journey of exploration. It is greatly, greatly appreciated, each and every one of you. Did I say that I had gotten, yes, I'll have to talk about this tomorrow. You take care. Have a great day today. I'll see you on the flip side. I am so sorry. I'm still disorganized.